Right guys, so let's get this tutorial on the road, as we say. So I'm going to start with my 5mm crochet hook and my chosen yarn, which is the Carousel by King Cole. So I'm not going to do a complete row count or a complete stitch count because in my notes I appear to be slightly out, but as long as you follow these instructions in the bottoms level, you can't really go wrong. So without any more ado, place a slip knot on your hook and chain 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. Right, so now we've got a chain of 21. What we want to do is we want to put 20 chains going, 20 half double crochets back down this chain. So we're going to yarn over and go into the second chain from our hook with a half double and one in each chain stitched across. So I'm on number 10 and another 10 to go. Right, so that's half of this row. So what we want to do now is chain 2. So 1, 2, and then without turning, we're just going to work straight down this opposite side with 20 half double crochets. So we're just going to get this tail out of our way a little bit. So I'm just going to go straight in here with a half double, and I'm going to place one in each of the back of the chain stitches. So I'm on number 10. Oops, I don't know what that is, a random fibre in my yarn. To me that looks like grass, probably is. That's 8, 9, and then this last one can be a bit tricky to see. I know that is the last one. Hang on, I've just got to go back on this one. I do apologise. There we are, that one. So this should be my last one, but I'm just going to double check. So you should have 20 down one side and 20 down the other now. Yes, I do. Right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to chain 1 and move straight onto round 3. So I will show you the complete round for round 3, and then the next so many rounds is going to be the same, but I'll tell you that in a second. So basically we're going to put 20 half double crochets back up here. So what we've done is from our last round is chain 1 and turn, and always go into this first stitch right here. We're not counting this as a stitch as such. So 20 up to the point of this little beginning bit. That's 17, 18, 19 and 20. Number 20 is always a little difficult to see because we've got this yarn end, but 20 is right there. It kind of lays to one side a little bit. 20. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some increases now in this chain 2 space, and for the next 6 rows after this one, it's each row is going to be worked the same. So this is why I'm only going to show you this row once, because it's the same, you just end up with more stitches. Right, so we're going to put 2 in this chain 2 space, so that's 2 half double crochet, chain 2, and 2 half double crochet, all in that chain 2 space. There we are, just like that. So you can either sew this in or you can continue to ignore it. Doesn't really matter because you're going to have to do it later anyway. So what we're going to do, continue the row until you get down to here. You should have the same amount of stitches each side, because then it just makes it even. So what I'll do is I'll catch up with the end of this row just to show you exactly which part to go into on this side. So bear with me and I'll be back in a second. Right, so I'm just coming up on the end of my row now, and I have 2 more stitches. So this one's easy to see. You can see there's the stitch. So that's a little half double in there for you. And then the next one is it's actually this chain 1 on the end what we're going into, sort of. Or it looks like it is, but it's not, if that makes any sense. So if your work ends up sloping, that means you're putting an increase. If it doesn't, then working it like this should be really nice and flat for these next rows. Right, so in between all your rows, you need to chain 1 and turn. So you're going to do the exact same, what we've just done on that row, for 6 more rows, which will be ending at the end of row 9. So that's row number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And I will catch you back at row 10. Right guys, so this is how we are looking so far. Just see this is staying nice and straight down here, and we've got a really nice point. This is going to the back of the head. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to switch my colour out because, like I said, I'm not going to quite have enough of the blue one, so I'm just going to use the same yarn in a different colour because I had some left of this beigey coffee brownie colours. Right, so just bear with me whilst I swap this over. Right, so for round 10 what we're going to do is we are going to half double crochet all the way up to our chain 2 space. In our chain 2 space we are going to place in 4 half double crochets and then finish crochet half double crocheting down to the round this side again. So that's going to be round 10, and then for round 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So that's after round 10, that's 5 rounds. We are just going to work one single half double crochet in each stitch. So again, that's after this round, it's an additional 5 rows. So that's going to leave you ending on the row number 15 at the end of. So I will see you at the end of row 15. Right guys, so I am on round 16 now. I've just finished round 15. So let's carry on. I'm loving how this colourway is working, even though I have switched out my yarn for a little bit I had left over. I will be switching it again just to confuse you all. So yeah, it's basically the same front and back. It's now starting to bow over, which is perfect, because now this is what's going to come over the top of your head. Right, so round 16, what do we have here? We have some more increases, but we're not increasing at the top. We are increasing at each side, so this side and this side. So what we're going to do is we are going to put 2 half double crochets in our first stitch. So this stitch right here. So there goes 1 and 2, and then 1 in the next, and 1 in the next, 2 in the next even. So the increases 2, 1, 2, so that means 2 in there, 1, then 2. Then the rest of the row, we're just going to half double crochet all the way around here, and then when we get to the end of here, you want to do the same increases. So on your last 3 stitches, you want to put 2 in there, 1 in there, and then 2 right in the end. So that's how to do the increases on these rows. So in total, this is going to take you from row 16 to 21. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 rows of increases. So I will see you at the end of row 21, where we will have a few more rows left before we start to do our edges. So see you in a minute. Right, hey guys, so this is how we're looking so far, and you can see that these decreases are starting to bring this front piece down. I did, I do apologise, I did give you slightly the wrong instructions, but it's no big deal. I said that we're going to do 5 rows of these, but no, we're going to do 10. So we've got another 5 rows of these increases to do, which will then bring us to round 26, because this is round 21. So yeah, we need another 5 rows. So it's the chain 1 to start your row. Don't forget your turn, and your 2, 1, 2 increases. So again, it's 2. And 1 in the next, then 2 in the next, and same on the opposite side as well. So again, I do apologise for making a slight error on my part, but yes, it is another 5 rows. So I will see you after those 5 rows. Right, so we're looking even more like a hood now, aren't we? So I did switch my colour back to blue so I could use the rest of the cake, and whatever's left, I think I'm just going to turn into pom-poms for this project, so the match. Right, so now we should be on just finish round 26, if I have got that right. If not, then it's fine. We've just got four more rows with no increases. So it's 4 regular rows with 1 half double crochet in each stitch. Don't forget that little chain 1 in between your rows. Just make sure I've got mine in there. There we go. And then just like we have been doing, just 1 half double into each stitch for every stitch for 4 rows, and then that is it for this part of the tutorial. The next part will be doing the edges and doing the straps, but it's all in one piece, so it's just pretty much basic instructions for it. So keep stitching. I will see you soon. Right guys, so as you can see now, we have all our rows finished, and this is it folded in half. So this is the top, and this is going round towards the back of the head area, and then all the way down to these lovely curved kind of like wings down at the bottom. And if I turn it the other way, so we can see it from the front. It's nice. It makes a nice wide hood here. I love how the colours have turned out on this one so far. So we're just going to dive straight into the next part. I am using my second colour. So it's kind of like a bluey grey colour in a chunky. This one's slightly thicker than what I've been using, but if yours isn't, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to use my 5mm crochet hook. If I did say you needed a 6 at the beginning of this tutorial, I do apologise, I'm telling you lies. And I'm just going to pick one corner, and I'm just going to join my yarn right here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put in one half double crochet in evenly spaced all the way across this bottom edge. So the flat edge where we started, so it's going to go right across here, finishing here, and then I will meet you back. So evenly spaced. I'll just do a couple to show you. So you've just got to kind of feel for where they are. Yeah, we're going to do half double crochets in here. It's a little bit tricky to get the hang of it, but they're kind of like in between the rows and on the edges of the rows, and you know, one between there, one in between here. Just have a nice and even. If you don't have enough in, it will start bunching up on you a little bit. If you've got too many in, your material starts to buckle and do strange things. So you can always tell when you've got it right because it sits nice and flat and there's no big gaps in between and they aren't too close together. So I'll meet you back at the other side where we will carry on. Right, I'm just going to put on the end of my half double crochets on that bottom straight edge now. So I've just got a couple more to do, and I'll show you what it should be looking like. And when you get to edge, if you think it needs another one, put another one, it's fine. And this is how it looks with the edge on the bottom. Excuse me. Right, what I'm going to do now is I am actually going to swap to a number 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to work the edge, which is the front of our hood. So it's going to be this edge right here. So what we're going to do is this needs to be on the outside. So we're going to be working straight round. So it's going to be on the top edge of, well, the right side of our fabric. So in the first stitch, first chain one, then your first stitch you need to put in a half double crochet. Then in the next stitch, this is where it's going to be a little strange, is we're actually going to yarn over twice and jump down a couple of rows. So you don't go into the stitch here, you literally go in, it's like the next one and then down, and we're going to go in with a front post triple, not quite sure, and then then we're not going to go in the one above it, behind it, we're going to skip one on this top row and go in with a half double, and then we're going to yarn over twice, move over one stitch and down a row for another treble crochet, yarn over. If you go back up here, it's the next one over. So it's kind of staggering these stitches on each row. So the top ones are every other, and then the long stitches are every other, but in between, if that makes any sense to you. I'll just do another one so you get the idea of the pattern. So if you look at this this one here, it's not going to be this stitch, it's going to be that one. So not this one, that one. And we're just working around that front post there. And then again, this is the stitch where the half double's in. So it's not this one, it's the next one. Right, so you're going to do all this until you get to the other side, which is over here. So there's quite a few for you to be getting on with, and I will catch up with you when we're at the other side. Right, so I'm just coming up to the end here. So I'm just going to put in a half double crochet and another one, just to flatten that edge off, just like that. And then since we are on one of our wingy kind of point bits, if I can get this the right way around, yeah, there we are. Oops. Wow, this is fighting me. Right, so this is the outside, lovely edge there. So since this is on one of our outside bits, what we now want to do is we want to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. And then put in a half double crochet in each stitch along, so you have 19. So you want to be putting your first one into the second loop from your hook. So after you've done that, I'll catch you back. Right, now we've got that finished. What we want to do is we want to go into the first first stitch on this bottom edge with a slip stitch. So it's not this one here because that's from this row, but it's this one here, just with a slip stitch, and that connects that down onto that. You can come back later and pop a little stitcher in there if you like. Right, so moving on quickly because this video is getting a bit long to be uploaded quickly. So what we're going to do now is we are just going to put a half double crochet in each half double crochet across this flat edge. When you get to the end here, you're going to chain 20 and then half double crochet back down your row, and I will meet you back at the front end again. So I'm just nearly at that bottom, this is my bottom back edge, just nearly to the end, and I just want to point out that 2 stitches before the end is where you want to chain 20, and then you're going to slip stitch into this last stitch. So I will see you in a moment. Right, so that's that last tassel done. All that there's left to do now is 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across the front until you reach the other side. When you reach the other side, you're going to cut your yarn because that's everything finished. Little details is just sew your pom-poms onto the end of your tassels, and away you go, finished. I hope you like this tutorial today. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you were able to follow everything what's been going on. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and also find me on Instagram as Crochet Kyle. Until next time, see ya!